We put power in words. The hate and the power we put in these words. These words are just words. A lot of people was defending Will Smith like, yeah, he's defending his wife's honor. So it's okay for him to then slap a comedian because he made some jokes about his wife. Money that we take and put into the foundation of Black Lives Matter is being used into their own pockets. The founders, the co-owners and stuff, the people at the very top. You donate money to certain causes and stuff, say the kid, all that other stuff. Your money doesn't go to that foundation, that organization. These social media platforms. I wouldn't be surprised if they scammers be on TikTok. They use, what is this, WhatsApp? WhatsApp is a whole thing for scammers to be on. I have a boyfriend speech is redundant at this point. You assume these presidents have so much control when it's really Congress. So regardless if it's a president like Donald Trump or Obama, we have the wrong idea when they come up in office. Hey yo, we back on the commentary channel. Let's get it in. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy. Innuendo. Get it? We innuendo. But if you with it, when it's finished, in the end, you win. Dough, man. Let's go. Look, I have another video for you guys. First of all, I'm thinking about whenever I see clips on TikTok or Instagram, Twitter, it's just like topics that I feel like it's interesting. Get my thoughts and stuff. I also want to do a podcast, but I'm trying to see how I'm gonna do that. I might just put the podcast stuff on this channel because it'll be similar things that I want to talk about. So let's get it in. I actually haven't seen a single thing of this video, but it's from Aber and Preach. It's single because we can't find men on our level. We date down.
You can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down.
Okay, let's talk about dating down. Typically speaking, females in particular, your female counterpart, want somebody that's on their level, typically above their level. That's usually what they look for when it comes to like salary or looks and so forth, whatever. They want somebody that just seems like they're on a like different level, which is weird. Nowadays, no one wants to build in relationships anymore. No one wants to build. Like I'm not saying find no like bum on the street or someone who doesn't actually want to like succeed in life or want to work. No one sees the potential anymore in building in relationships. Relationships nowadays, like nobody wants to get married, I heard too. But that's another thing. People don't want to date down. They won't take out their freaking wallets and say I pay for the bill unless you're already in a relationship. But most of the time, especially when you're dating, they want somebody who's gonna take that and say I'll pay for it, even if they're offering or say split the bill. That's not what they want. That's most of the time not what they want.
Finding love is not that easy, right? And it's especially hard in this economy. And guess what? Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. A study by Cornell University found that the country's declining marriage rate is due to the lack of financially eligible bachelors.
I definitely heard that it's becoming harder and harder from both teams, actually. Realistically speaking, most people have a preference, an attraction, or a type. Believe it or not, like obviously you got to be somewhat attracted to a person, but I feel like when we stereotype a type of person that we want, like realistically, I think that like backfires on us because we have our standards too high. No, shoot for the stars. Go follow your dreams. But when it comes to the man of your dreams, sometimes they just want way too much. And I think guys don't expect a whole lot from females for some reason. And I think we all both need to meet in the middle. We need to have our expectation a little bit higher, and they need to lower theirs. But I feel like I'm just saying meet in the middle. Theirs are too high and ours are too low. We go for, I don't know. I just feel like we just go for anything that just has a heartbeat. And I'm like, we need to treat ourselves better as kings and respect that. Like, treat yourself with respect. Don't just go for anything just because you just want to go for anything. Let it be a reason. Like, up your standards.
Women are actually outpacing men with education, and this is changing the age-old mentality that men are the breadwinners. In turn, the gig or small gigs economy and lack of good jobs out there have left the ladies single and disgruntled. And researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down.
Very interesting. And like I know a lot of females won't date down. Some females will because they're going out there, which says a lot on guys too. Like sometimes it's hard to get that kind of thing, but sometimes there's some lazy people out here. You just got to know who you're going for. I've talked to plenty of people who I'm like they just, how did you even get in a relationship with this guy? And you dating for who knows how long, and he just kind of just doing whatever. He just running amok, and I'm like, okay, you just paying all the bills and taking care of this 20-year-old man or 20 to 30-year-old man. Like he's a grown man, but you just like I'm gonna take care of him like he's my child. Like, okay, you got to understand when dating down goes too far.
Women don't want to date down; they want to date up,
See?
Which means they want you to date down.
See, my point exactly. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
So women, we're more educated now, and I think that we're furthering our education. So with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
Very interesting. I actually was interacting with a young lady who seemed to have those same ambitions of being more career driven. So they're kind of holding off, so to speak. They not really looking for a relationship where it came down to like dating or kids and marriage, stuff like that. They're trying to get a career settled. But you got to understand like where you're at right now and what you're looking for. If you wait too long, the opportunity is going to pass you, especially when you get to a certain point where you stop making babies after a certain age too. So you got to think about that. Like, I know we all want to go after our dream jobs, and like I said, shoot for the stars. But we got to understand that is a slippery slope. When you, like, I'm not saying rush into anything, but you got to kind of understand it's a slippery slope when it comes down to that. You really don't understand like how quickly an opportunity can pass you. I mean, you skip over a guy like me, you might end up with Skippy McGee over there. That rhyme, I didn't mean for that. But yeah, you kind of just, focus on your careers. Don't get me wrong. But most people don't want to build, like, overall as they building on their careers and stuff like that. Like, people want to have that together first before they go into, which, understandably, like, since I've been single, I want to be able to build on myself and build my own empire now. So I kind of get that perspective, but that don't mean I just not looking for people. I'm trying to figure out what people got going on, and we could build together. But I understand like relationships, a household, family, kids can like stop production of your dreams and stuff. So that does make a lot more sense.
So okay,
Go ahead, doctor.
all right. So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal, and because you're dating down.
The way he said it, like it's like, because guys hear that and we're like, bro, we do that all the time. So he kind of said it in a way where it's just like, so that's how you consider it, like you're like, we're not on your level. And it's more that's why like people gotta understand there's more that you bring to the table besides your financial stability. So it's not technically dating down when if the guy makes more and he goes for a young lady who makes a little bit less or less or whatever, but she brings other stuff to the table. And it's about what you bring to the table. So it's not dating down in that aspect. But people will sit there and nitpick and say like, oh, especially for a young lady, if she does this, dating somebody who makes less than her, then that's dating down. But it's like, what does he bring to the table though? It's the same aspect. And especially females, you want to go in for like your dreams and doing like just keep making more money and stuff like that. That's fine, but you're gonna get to a point where most of the people that you are attracted to is sometimes it's gonna be hard to find somebody that's on your financial level at least. So you just find somebody that's there mentally, emotionally, and all that other stuff like it was when guys made more and we had to find somebody in that same situation.
Stats.
I have a feeling though that some of the issue here is that it may be the psyche of the men, that when they make less, they are insecure and it can
This
affect their
report is about the
relationship.
women complaining.
What? No. Lies, bro. Men get insecure because they're making less. No. Now, granted, a man wants to be able to provide for his family, definitely. But you think I'm a trip if my girl got it? But I definitely want to reach my full potential and my peak. I'm not going to just sit there and see that she got it and be like, oh well, she got it, I'm not gonna try any harder. No, that's not the reason.
Feeling though that some of the issue here is that it may be the psyche of the men, that when they make less, they are insecure and it can
This
affect their
report is
relationship.
about the women complaining about the fact that,
they
oh,
don't
now
have,
I got to get
so
a guy
I
that
guess
has
my
less
question would
money
be,
than
so
me.
are these women expecting the men to cover everything? They want those breadwinners, so they...
That's what it sounds like to me by this particular study. I have to date down now.
Very, very intriguing. But it seems like when you interact with females, it kind of seems like that's that mentality. Now, typically speaking, most of the time when you date somebody, it's going to be like a situation where someone doesn't have one thing or the other, whatever the case is. But you want to be able to be well-rounded, like pretty much have your stuff together for the most part. I mean, in education, car, job, and stuff like the typical stuff or whatever, which is why I'm trying to go get my license. Because typically speaking, somebody's gonna see that and be wondering if you're actually trying to do that. Now, there's like like for example, I know men and women are different. So obviously, like I'm trying to get my license, I'm trying to get a car or whatever, right? I have a job though, I work. You know, I'm actually not living in my parents' house or whatever the case is. But surprisingly, a lot of young ladies that I've just interact with on a like social level, just like friends or so forth, but a lot of them still live with their mom and dad or their parents or like one of the parents or whatever. I'm out on my own and stuff, which is typically like a smart way to go about it. But people, I think it's interesting because it's like they also add that in the equation for men of saying like, does he still live in his mom's basement or so, like such as like so forth, whatever. Because normally we bring the young lady home, so if we bringing her home, what are we bringing her home to? Now, obviously, I want to be able to have like my actual house, whatever. I'm renting out a room, but it's a step in the right direction. What the freak? I don't know who you are.
I have a feeling this is going to be our morning rush extra.
I can do bad by myself.
Left to say. All right, Robinez, I have a feeling this is going to be our morning rush extra.
I can do bad by myself.
Wow, she said that, and okay, you want to quote phrases and stuff like you're that, like that's a tough thing, but that's not good. And just because you're dating down don't mean you're doing bad. Like that's not what that means. Like I said, financial stability comes from a two-parter household. So I get it, but that's not at all. Just you have to see what else he's bringing to the table.
Left to say. All right, time now, 5:11. Let's.
And then also too, what people should consider is, I mean, I know this isn't back in the day, so to speak, but if the guy is making less and you're more out there working in the office or whatever you're doing and whatever the case is, you gotta consider that maybe he's home with the child more. Just consider that.
Morning rush extra.
I can do bad by myself.
Left to say. All right, time now, 5:11. Let's get to what's ahead.
Her
on
face.
the
All right,
the whole emotion in the face and stuff was not that serious. That wasn't. It was over dramatic.
Because back then in that video, they're talking about women that are earning more. They don't want to date down.
True.
Now women don't even want to date down. They just expect up.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why a lot of people aren't dating. And I want to say this super quick. Like what you're attracted to a degree, like it would sway your decision if you want to talk to this person or not. Like if you don't really have an attraction for this person, you might not talk to them or date them. But like I feel like when you have a type, or a female or somebody says that's not my type, it to a degree kind of like it got a sting, because I don't really understand that logic when it comes to certain, like I get like there has to be some kind like an attractiveness or whatever, but right, so like, but if your type is like a stereotypical kind of type, like it has to, like he has to be dark skinned and waves in his hair or something, like it, like you kind of looking for like a specific thing, and I'm light skinned or whatever the case, and you're like, well, I don't talk to light skinned people for what? Like I could see if like looks purposes, but the color of my skin, like that's crazy. Your variety should be way more than that. And I'm like, I think to me that's just, that whole having a type thing is just ridiculous, and it can literally set you apart and set you away from the potential of actually finding somebody nice, because you want to be like, oh, that's not my type, so to speak.
Women don't even want to date down. They just expect up.
and they won't, like I said, they won't date down. They expect up, which is why most people aren't really dating right now. Most people don't even want to get married. This generation doesn't even want to get married now. They think because all the divorce rates and stuff like that. But it's like, I feel like most of those situations happen because people either get bored, they cheat, or no communication. And I'm like, they expected communication from guys and for guys to express their feelings, but what men need to understand is they wanted it to a stronger degree than what we do, but they don't want it on the same level as what they do, because communication is a one-way streak if you're sitting there doing most of the communication as a male, or the emotional stuff as a male. Like they still look at us as strong men, so still showing your feelings and communication, all this other stuff, for some reason they don't like to see that. I don't know why. I mean, there's probably some who do, but for some reason some females still don't like to see that. I don't know why. You go to freaking approach a young lady, a lot of times their mentality, not only for their standards, but just the mindset of, oh my gosh, it's like the 37th guy trying to talk to me, and they add that whole standard, he's not my type, why is he trying to talk? It's like, I'm not saying get everybody a chance, but sometimes when you see that potential in that person, you should go for that. And I mean, just overall, like guy or girl. But I had to actually learn not to dwell on those kind of things. If it's meant to be with somebody, you'll be with that person. If not, then you just keep it moving. But we gotta kind of like, guys have to up their standards a little bit more. And I don't just mean by like a financial situation. I just meant like overall, that mindset in particular. Like, it's one of those things where you gotta understand that dying alone is, no, it's not a fun thing. No one wants to die alone, but yet a lot of times we'll allow our standards and the type or whatever the case is to dictate our future. And if you want to be alone, leave me out of it. Literally. I'm going to keep pursuing until I find that right person, and you should too. Definitely don't give up. I don't think anybody should give up. Other than that, man, I appreciate you guys. I love you, man. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, man. Share with your friends. I put new videos out every single week, pretty much every single day on the commentary channel, man. I have a lot to say. You know, I'm trying to post more videos on this channel and on my game channel. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys. I love you, man. Stay blessed. No stress. Let God take care of the rest. I'll see you guys in the next. Let me know what you guys thought about this video, and what do you think? Do you think females date down? And what do you think about people having a type and standards? Okay? I feel like that's an interesting thing to think about, because people's type and standards kind of dictate a lot. Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and have a blessed one. I'll see you. Peace out.